Okay, so the Bucks took game 1 and there's things to talk about between the Bucks' help defense and the insane amount of threes that they forced the Celtics to take on top of the Bucks' extra attention to Tatum and how they can build on that moving forward and just getting Jalen going at all. But you got to start with Giannis, man. So Giannis did miss a good amount of shots, and some of those were some missed jumpers, and the Celtics met him at the rim pretty well on some stuff, but he was still dominant in this game, and to me, he was still by far the best player in it. He had 12 assists, but when you take those 12 assists, and the one I remember the most was when he was in the post, and Marcus went to double him with Grayson Allen one pass away, and it led to a pretty easy three for Grayson Allen. But he also had so many of like the hockey assist type of stuff to where I feel like he effectively had like 20 assists in this game. The one I remember randomly, I mean, there was the one where Bobby Portis cut, and then there was a little miscommunication where Tatum told, I think it was Jalen to switch on to Portis, and that led to, Giannis throws it to him underneath the basket. Then it's an open corner three for Grayson Allen. There was also a random one in the fourth where Giannis was in the corner. They brought like two on him, and then he throws a skip pass to, I think it was Javon Carter, who then drove and got fouled, or, it's a lot of that type of stuff in this game, and I don't think it was a coincidence that pretty much everybody on the Bucks had an efficient shooting game. I'd have to go back and look at Drew's 25 points, because I know that there were some where he created it himself and it wasn't just off of Giannis, but that's the biggest thing. What is the appropriate amount of help to bring on Giannis to where you're not getting torched by everybody else? The Bucks off-ball movement around the Giannis stuff was great too. Like there was a play where Giannis, he brought it up early in the post, and then Robert Williams doubled him, and the idea is, well, Robert Williams can just ignore Brook. So then Brook immediately cut to the paint while having Marcus Smart just kind of all over him. While this is happening, Drew Holiday is relocating from one wing down to like closer to Giannis so Giannis can see him, and it leads to an open three for him. So Giannis just controlled the game. I remember there was I think it was a Javon Carter three, the classic handoff action right into a screen, come around, open shot. Giannis was just, he was reading the game at some like Chris Paul levels tonight. The other thing with Giannis too was defensively he was dominant. I mean, he spent a good amount of the game on Jalen, which was not something that I really suspected when I did my prediction for this series. I was like, well, he could be on Tatum, he could be a help guy off of Horford. I didn't really think it'd be Jalen. And he was still able to provide help. I mean, there was that one play, I think it was late first half, where Giannis blocked Tatum and Jalen was open in the corner. But the thing with the Bucks is the way that they bring the help and the way they load up inside, they do it at just the right time to where it's not obvious where the next play is. Like on that exact same play, Peyton Pritchard was open around the top of the key. And look, the Celtics shot a ridiculous amount of threes in this game, and this is the Bucks' whole thing. They're like, look, we're going to give you some threes. We're going to dare Marcus Smart. We're going to dare Horford. And sure, Horford went 4 for 9 from outside. There were also a bunch of possessions where, again, as Tatum is attempting to score inside, it's like, holy crap, there's nowhere to go in the paint. And look, the Celtics attempted 50 threes. That is so many possessions that are not resulting in shots at the rim. So how do you open up stuff more for yourself? Well, again, maybe I mentioned it earlier, maybe I didn't. They are bringing a lot of attention on Tatum. Like, Brook is playing very high on screens on Tatum. They doubled Tatum a couple of times, and you could build off of that sort of a thing. They also ran something in, I believe, the early second half where they had like a screen for Tatum before he even crossed half court to get him a bit of a runway to the rim. And, well, okay, but they're still going to collapse on you. The other thing was there was a play that they ran where they had Marcus screen for Brook. It was like or screen on Brook. It was like a down screen before Brook could even get into contesting the screen against Tatum. So that could be something they build on a little bit more. But still, man, like the Bucks defense, it's an elite defense. Like once Brook Lopez came back and everything fell back into place, and he's the rim protector, and I mean a lot of the things I'm saying about Giannis, like how can you kind of get him out of the play, whether it's relocating the guy he's guarding or whatever. It's a similar thing with Brook. I mean, like, good lord, how do you score inside on these guys? As far as how no Middleton affected this game, I mean, to be honest, I feel like it didn't really do the Celtics any favors. I mean, it put the ball in Giannis's hands more. And again, with how good his passing was, it's just like, good luck. Some little things for the rest of the series to look at. I noticed that Time Lord was guarding Wesley Matthews to open up the game. That was sort of interesting if you want to use him as a help dude, but Time Lord, he played 22 minutes. I don't know if that's a sign of anything. He did have that thing where he was struggling to get up the court for a minute and they had to call a timeout for him. I don't know. But yeah, man, the Bucks are good and the defense looks terrifying against the Celtics. I'll probably do a reaction for Warriors Grizzlies a little later on. I also said I was going to do a thing about the Nuggets off season, and I did a video about like all the teams that lost in round one, and then I didn't put it out because I didn't think I was really saying that much. For the Nuggets' sake, they'll get their guys back. They could use an on-ball defender, and MPJ will have to be the best version of himself as a help guy. So there was that Nuggets vid I promised.